Hello and welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports, and we have another edition of the Bike Profiles series. So this is a Cannondale Super Six EVO, and this is one of my all-time favorite carbon bikes. Even though I'm not a big carbon bike rider anymore, I was sponsored by Cannondale for a little while, and that was when they released this bike. Not this model, but the bike I was riding, which is actually right here in my window. It's hard to see, but anyway, it's in there. And I just think this is a great riding bike. And crazy thing, I used to ride this bike on 25 tires, and it felt comfortable at the time compared to the other bikes I used to ride. But I just took this bike out with 25 tires, and I really would love to put some 28s or 30s on there. Now, some folks have made comments that this bike will fit a larger tire, so that'll be cool. All right, let's get into the spec of this bike. As you can see, it is a Dura-Ace build with a Cannondale crankset, and then we've got some Cannondale, I believe the hologram is part of their wheel series of bikes, and I believe we have a seat post, handlebar, and stem that is all Cannondale type of parts, but everything else is a Dura-Ace component or Shimano component. All right, so from bow to stern, we're going to start off with the Dura-Ace shifters up front, and you can see the brake caliper there. And you know, the finish on this series of Dura-Ace componentry, the R9100, it's such a nice black lacquer type finish that it comes up really nice when you clean everything up. So we've got a Cannondale stem and handlebar, and then I know, since my viewer base is a little bit older, I'm sure some of you are still riding a cat-eye computer and not gone the Garmin route or any of that stuff. So yep, he's still got his little magnet and pickup on his fork. Now, someone had mentioned that the way you can tell which tire size will fit on your Cannondale is based on the width of this fork. So front to back, the wider fork, I guess, doesn't take as big of a tire, but this one will. So we've got the Cannondale SI crankset on here. I was able to clean this up quite well. So a 5236, and I've been riding that on my Ritchie, and I like the chain rings. It's a nice spread between the big and the small chain rings. So you got 16 teeth from a 36 to a 52, so I like that. So I'm sure this gentleman likes the setup. And we've got a Dura-Ace front derailleur, and I gotta tell you, mechanical shifting is just so beautiful. You push the lever and it just picks up the chain, even though this is not a Dura-Ace crankset and chain rings. And then we've got a new 9100 chain on here. We've also got new cables and housing. Now the cassette, I was able to save. I scrubbed it quite well, and I was able to get some of the surface corrosion off. So we kept the cassette. It's nice and flat on the climbing cogs. These cogs here, nice and flat on the teeth. So we're going to keep that. I just took it for a test ride. Everything feels fine. But if the customer gets a little slippage, then maybe we will look at getting a new cassette. And there is the rear derailleur, all shiny and nice. No scuffs, so everything is all nice and clean. Now, When I clean this stuff, I cleaned it with just dishwashing liquid. Dawn is what I use, unless something is totally caked in grease, and then I may use an actual degreaser, but a lot of times Dawn does the trick. And so there is the Durace rear caliper. We have a seat post from the Cannondale proprietary stuff, but you know, it's their brand, but it's not proprietary. It's just a standard 27.2 seat post, and the Physique Antares. I never actually rode the Antares. I rode the Arione when I had Physique saddles, but now I ride my SQ Lab saddles, as most people that watch this channel know. But this saddle is what this gentleman rides, and the nose is a little up for my liking when I test rode it, but if he likes it that way, we'll leave it that way. But I will bring it to his attention that I think the nose is a little up, and you know, sometimes customers don't realize that over time either the nose has dropped or the nose has come up, and it's just from, you know, a pothole here or there. And then it just goes up a millimeter, 2 millimeters over time. Then it's, you know, half a centimeter in the up or down direction. The customers just never noticed it. We got 2 new tires on there. The Vittoria tires that were on there were just dry. Plus, the customer complained that he was getting a lot of flats. And the Vittoria Corsa tires, they're great tires, but geez, sometimes you get over, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 miles on them, and they're just very, very flat prone. So switch them over to the Continental 5000s. We'll see if maybe he wants to go tubeless. I'm going to put this out to folks that know this bike model and this wheel model. Do you folks know if this is a tubeless compatible wheel? They don't have anything written on the rims, so I can't tell if they're tubeless compatible or not. This is all it says. So if anyone has these wheels and they can tell me, hey, yeah, I converted those to tubeless, not a problem. They seal up really well. It was really hard to get these 5,000 tires on here. They're 25s, of course. So maybe that is a sign that they are tubeless compatible. That's what I've noticed a lot of times when rims, when it's really hard to put tires on them. I guess those rims were made to keep themselves safe, the company safe, and they end up being a little bit, you know, that's the old wives' tale that tubeless tires were 1 mil, 2 mil smaller, and that rims were 1 or 2 mils larger. And then obviously if you get the perfect storm and you get the tire that's too small and the rim that's too big, it is impossible to get those on. All right, well, that is all for today. If you like these bike profiles, please leave a comment down below. Keep them coming, and I will, whenever I see something interesting that I want to share with you, I will do a bike profile on it. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you up the road.